Alright, everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Rockin' Dave, North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida. And welcome to episode number 4 of How to Do. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I do warm-up exercises in a short amount of time. Now, this purpose of this video is specifically on building your technique and your warm-up exercises when you're really tight for time, you don't have a lot of time, got a busy work day, or you got a busy day with the family, or for the working musicians, you got to go over material, and all of a sudden then you get to go work through the material, then boom, in the car you go and you're off to the gig. So a lot of times there's very little bit amount of time. Always remember there's 24 hours in a day, you got to sleep, eat, and clean up and everything else. So the reality is you might have a lot less time than what you realize for playing and building up technique. So this doesn't mean jamming. Jamming is really good if you could get away with got a Sunday afternoon jamming, you want to jam all day and hit the record button. That is specifically to build your song ideas and things of that nature. But for the sheer sake of technique and maintaining technique and getting the most out of your practice in a short amount of time, you'd be surprised how well this method works. Because when you're building technique and you're trying to stay focused, if you go too long, sometimes the mind wanders. But if you do it in small segments, you're able to get the most out of your practice. Now, I use a little egg timer. You can use a stopwatch or anything that works. But see how I have this set? This is set for 1 minute and 7 seconds. So I'm going to use this for this example. Normally, what I do is 10-minute increments. And what I mean by that, 10 minutes without stopping. And I try to get the most out of that, then take a little break, like a really short break, do another 10 minutes and so forth. To see just how I feel out of that day, to maintain my technique and then, push the envelope and things of that nature. But, okay, so this is what we do. So I have my metronome setting at 170 beats per minute. I want to make sure people could see that there's no reflection. Okay, 170 beats per minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play quarter notes. And I'm going to play what is equivalent to, well, it's going to be C major / A minor scale. Because there's no sharps or flats. And I'm going to do it only on the 2 bottom strings. The first high E and the B string. The second string is your B. And I'm going to stay in the 5th fret and 7th fret position. So, and hopefully you guys will be able to catch this. So first I'm going to do quarter notes, and then I'm going to do what I would normally do. And here we go. So, get this metronome set. And that's actually 1 minute and 7 seconds. So here we go. Okay, so the timer went off. Now it's that might seem to be very, very slow for some, but there's a reason why I'm doing that. So you can gain control of your playing. Now, let me go ahead and show you what it would be like at a normal pace that I would start, depending on how I'm feeling that day. Still, for this as an example, I'm going to do 1 minute and 7 seconds. And then you'll get an idea. Okay, here we go. No, it's not working. There we go. you kind of get an idea. Now, there's a reason why I started the first part slow. And I will touch on another video. It might be my next video I do, video number 5, which will explain how I build speed. But in a nutshell, there is a lot of truth in when people would say to play fast, you have to start slow. Really what they mean is if you want control. Because see, it's not really the speed, it's more the accuracy that everybody hears. Now, there is truth into playing fast so you can get used to that momentum. There's a lot of truth into that. But really to gain control is what you want to do is do it at a pace that you can handle, that your mind can comprehend, and then your hands can comprehend, because your mind is going to be controlling your hands. If your mind cannot comprehend it, then it's going to be slop and flop and everything else, you know. And especially if you have to do anything acoustically, you got to have it accurate, because it's very noticeable, very, very noticeable. So, but for this sake of this video, by doing things in short increments, time sequences, you actually will get more out of it, because you could stay focused and your mind doesn't wander. Again, this method is really its purpose is for building and maintaining your technique. Song ideas and jamming, that's totally different. That is totally different. And if you could combine the two, then that's great, because your jamming is just like it implies, you're jamming. But the build technique, you got to have focus. You really do, because once you start losing control, then that's when things start to fall apart. And trust me, my friends, as a gigging musician, you're going to run into all kind of obstacles and distractions out there. You will not always be on a big stage with, you know, under black lights or where it's dark lit stage. You'll be doing a lot of gigs where you're outside. And all types of gigs in between. Those are the gigs that pay the money, you know. Not saying the other ones don't, but you know, you'll be in all different situations, so just be aware of that. So it only makes sense to gain as much control over your instrument as you possibly can. So this way that you're prepared. Even if you're thrown outside of your element, you still have control of your instrument. That's what you want. And this method does work. I've had a student up in Illinois, I showed him this method, and I would show him that I do 10-minute increments, so he would do the 10-minute increments, and he said it was the greatest thing he's ever done, and he's never really thought about it. And I said, well, if you think about how when people work out or if people do martial arts and that, they study slow movements, especially like Tai Chi, and I'm only guessing, so I could be wrong, but from what I could see, those slow movements is also the study in each, each part of how you hold your arm, you know, because you might get tired here, but maybe in this part you won't be tired, and so forth, you know. So you might be able to get that, but maybe not this. We gotta do finger stretch. You know, so you always have good accuracy. And you know, you don't have to push down so hard on the strings that you're killing your fingers, but you just want the notes to be solid. So I hope this really helps all of you out there, because I know time is of the essence, and time, that's one thing we can never get back, time. We can always make money back, but we cannot get time back. So how you maximize your time is very important, and especially if you got family. You cannot neglect family, you know. If you neglect your family and you have a bad personal life, you're not going to have a good professional life. So, but again, so you could use this technique, this type of exercise. You could use an egg timer or stopwatch. It really doesn't matter. But it's really good if you have something that can have a little alarm. And then you could basically set your metronome setting at any setting that works for you. And the whole purpose is control. So, and then get the most out of your practice time. It really does work, my friends. Okay, until next time, you stay safe out there. Always desire to inspire, my friends. And we will see you in the next video. Take care, and God bless.